Hello, and welcome to the mighty quest for Epic Loot Patch 18 Dev Chat. So, I am Errok, your community manager, and with me is Dasquidd, lead designer. Hello, Dasquidd.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Sure. As usual, we're gonna present to you the changes that we're bringing with patch 18, and then we're gonna answer your questions and some of the questions that were asked in the chat. So, okay, let's try to start right now. So we're gonna start with something that a lot of people asked, and we're bringing now. It's like changes on the items and on the loot, basically.
Yeah, that's right. We're making actually a pretty significant change to the way the hero items work. So before I go into the details, let me explain why what we're doing and the objective we've given ourselves. So actually, we want to make gear more accessible. We want to also make it more diverse and have a deeper gameplay. And we also want to streamline weapon categories, which is something that I don't think most players or all the players knew about. So first, let's talk about making it more accessible. To make the loot more accessible, obviously we go straight into the loot drops. I think most players are going to be really happy about this. We've increased the number of items that will drop during an attack. We've also made those the items that will drop be of significantly higher quality, so you'll have better chances to find legendary gear and epic gear. You'll find less white items. And we've also increased the chance for you to find loot for the specific hero that you're using to attack. So let's say, for example, you're attacking a castle and you're using the mage. You're more often than not going to find mage items. So this was already the case before, but we've actually gone and increased the chances a little bit. And finally, I think this change is going to help a lot, especially in the current state of the difficulty for certain levels. When an attacker attacks a castle, so the level of the items that he'll find is based on the level of the castle he's attacking. So that hasn't changed. I just want to explain how that works. However, what we have changed is we will the loot that will drop from the monsters will be of equal or higher level than the castle. So you shouldn't find, for example, attacking a level 12 castle. You used to be able to find level 10 gear, and that was super penalizing, especially that some players had to attack castles that were well below their own level. So I think that's going to help players have a better equipment overall.
All right. So yeah, higher quality more frequently, and more loot. And more like loot that is, for example, when you're playing the mage, you're gonna have more mage item. All right. And there was one last change, if I can recall correctly.
Yeah, you mean regarding the chance to loot higher level items?
Yeah, higher level items.
That's
all right. Then there's another thing that we added. We already saw that in the video actually, and some player was like, some of the people in the chat were wondering what it was. We added new abilities to the items.
Yeah, so in trying to make the items more diverse, what we've done is we're adding depth through what we call item abilities. So in the past, you could have found items with basic abilities like a chance to stun your target or a chance to poison your target. However, in Pack 18, we've released a whole bunch of these new abilities that are, for example, one of them is Explosive Strike. So when you hit a target, you have a chance to spawn a big fireball.
We're showing that right now with the...
Right.
It's on our sword, but as I understand it can be on other pieces of equipment.
Yeah, that's right. It can be on different pieces. So we've done that, although it's a little bit different than what you'll find in other games. We've done that to give more choice to the players, so that you can either focus all on, for example, Explosive Strike, and increase the chances that will occur during a combat, or you can go and kind of take a little bit of Explosive Strike, some Icy Blast, and maybe another item ability to kind of spread your chances that those different abilities will occur during your combat.
So yeah, there's like different abilities. So some of them are permanent. Some have a chance to happen whenever you attack with a normal attack, not a skill. And there was another type, I don't remember.
Yeah, there's some that will actually occur when the hero gets hit. For
Okay.
example, there's control resistance,
Yeah.
which basically means whenever you get pulled by, let's say, a hunger bot, or you get thrown by a springboard trap, it will actually reduce the effectiveness of those effects on your hero. And there's also others that are a bit more passive, like the rage ability,
All right.
that when you go in critical health, so when you're kind of the contours of your screen start lighting up red, your hero DPS is going to be increased significantly.
All right. And another thing that we talked about already on the website is you kind of streamline the different weapon categories. So can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, the weapon categories is actually something that it was in the game since a long time. However, it was difficult for most players to really understand or really like know how does it work, and how does how do I get more of my favorite weapon. Especially for the archer that had a whole bunch of different weapon categories that were working, and some of these examples where you'd fire one shot and you'd reload, or you would have different split shots, and the problem we had was we had no interesting way or no clear way of communicating this to the player and saying, you like the gameplay associated to that weapon. If you want more weapons like that, you can easily identify them or find them. So what we've done is we've limited it to 3 types of weapon categories. For the knight, it's the swords, axes, and hammers. And each one of these different categories has a very unique type of gameplay. For example, the swords are all very fast attacks. The axes are wide cleaving attacks, so it's like the cleave ability on every hit. The hammers have a slower attack, and a third hit, which is a powerful smash like a smite. And so depending on how you want to customize your hero, you can choose to focus on hammers, axes, swords. All of these different type of like one sample of each weapon category is available at the blacksmith. So if you want to go ahead and try those different samples, you can visit the blacksmith. On the archer side, we're introducing these 3 categories. The first one is the repeater, so it's kind of like a machine gun or a Tommy gun type of
Really fast
ability.
attacks.
Yeah, really fast attacks. That's my favorite one. There's the multi-shot, which fires 3 arrows in a split shot type of fashion, and you have the ballista, which is heavy piercing attacks.
The 3 arrows split shot, you can kind of use it as a shotgun, more or less, like if you're close to a creature.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, that's right. And finally, you have the ballista that does one heavy hitting arrow.
Yeah.
However, it will go through your target and hit someone in back. So if you're able to position yourself accordingly, you can kind of align a whole bunch of targets up and get them for maximum damage.
All right.
And finally, we have the mage. So he has fire staffs, which do quick succession fire bolts. We have lightning staffs, which do a 2-target chain lightning effect. So you'll use it on one target, and it'll jump automatically to the next target. And then you have the arcane staff, which is slow bolts that will explode for area effect damage.
All right. So that's basically all the changes for the hero items. Now we're gonna talk about something more defensive, about the castle shield. So we're bringing the ability to deactivate your castle shield.
Yeah, it's something that the community has been very vocal about. They want ways to remove their shields, so we've made it entirely optional to the players that do have a shield in effect. So you just click on your shield, either in the defense page or on the home page, and you'll get a little pop-up saying, "Are you sure you want to deactivate your shield?"
Yeah.
And if you click yes, you remove the timer, and any attackers who come and visit you can steal your treasure.
Yeah.
So that's something that's entirely optional.
And it's free, doesn't cost anything. It's like free to the player. All right.
Yep.
Then a big update that we haven't talked about yet is the victory conditions that actually have been changed this time around.
Yeah, so the victory conditions are the result that you have at the end of an attack, and we wanted to clarify that a little bit because it wasn't clear both for the defender and the attacker. How do I get more stars? And we noticed that when we were explaining it, even within our own team, some of the concepts were hard to explain. Like you had a star that was dedicated to potions, but you had a maximum number of potions at the same time. So there were things that were going into conflict. So what we've decided to do is actually base all of the number of stars based on how quick the attacker was at finishing your castle, at reaching the treasure room. And the amount of stars that the attacker will earn are proportionally based on not only how long it took him, but how much he will steal from the defenders. So 3 stars gets you the full 20% of whatever's in the treasure. 2 stars gets you 15%, and 1 star gets you 10%. We've also added a third victory condition, which is kind of like a draw state. And this is basically telling the defender, instead of a binary you won or you lost, this is saying the attacker actually reached the treasure room, but he took too long to do so. So it's kind of it's a draw.
Yeah.
You didn't really win, and he didn't really win, so it's a draw state. Obviously, I think we're taking a risk in the sense that we're basing all of this on the time. And castle timers is something that we've gotten a lot of feedback on, and that I can confirm we've made some tweaks to that in pack 18.
Yeah.
I think we'll talk a little bit about that in more details later.
Yeah, we can talk a bit more about that. You basically expanded the timer for pretty much everybody.
Yeah, that's right.
Because we know like mostly at a higher level there were quite a lot of problems with that.
Yeah, at higher levels it was especially difficult to complete castles in time. There's a lot more time now to complete the castle, and with the fact of having 3 stars that are based on time, it allows us to give a bit more granularity.
Yeah.
So earning the 1 star, it's okay if you take your time, whereas earning the 3 stars, you really have to hurry up and have that better gear equipped.
And do it well. All right. Then we can go on and move to the castle rooms. We've talked about this already, but you have added like 20 new rooms. Something like that.
Yeah, that's exactly it. We've added 20 rooms, and some of them are part of the what we call the starting collection. So whenever a player connects to the game, a new player, there's a castle that's randomly generated, and the rooms that this castle is built with are part of this new collection. So what that basically means is that new players will have more variety to their castles. Attackers that are visiting these players will also see more variety. And any defenders that already have castles that are well established, they can just visit their architect office. They can have access to all of those new rooms. Most of them are in the low rank architect office, so ranks 1 and 2. You will, however, find some higher level at ranks 3 and 4.
All right. And most like the new ones with like outdoor stuff and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Next we're going to the economic changes. So once again you've brought up some new economic changes. Can you tell us what you did?
Yeah, actually we've increased the storage of the golden life force mines, basically to help with these. To help with some of the grinding that was happening at low levels. So from especially at the low rank of those golden life force mines, we've increased the capacity. So it's not necessarily earning you more.
Yeah,
per,
it's not the
per
production;
minute
it's
or
the capacity. Yeah,
That's
the
right.
storage.
So the average player, when he comes back the next day, he'll see that, instead of accumulating 1,000 or 1,500 of gold or life force, it'll have gone up considerably. So I think that's going to be a nice change.
Okay, so it'll ease up the grinding a bit.
Yeah, it should, especially at low levels.
All right.
And then the next big change we've done is at the blacksmith. We've done a considerable price reduction on the blacksmith gear.
Yeah.
Again, especially at lower levels, lower to mid levels. So from gear levels 3 to 12, the price of the blacksmith gear has been reduced by half. And at levels 15 to 18, the price has been reduced by about 1/3. So that, again, it goes towards the objective that we've set ourselves of making hero items more accessible, and basically meaning that the attacker is a little bit more well equipped and more able to face the challenge that he should face at that level.
All right. But to be clear, it's still the same items in the blacksmith.
That's correct.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, and one last thing that we've added is, several other things that we've added are more into the cosmetic side of things. So what did we get this time around?
On the cosmetic side, actually, we have some costumes. Right now, you'll notice that there's a new slot in your hero inventory, in your paper doll, that's called the costume slot. And so our artists have made a whole bunch of hats that can be equipped. They have no statistical advantage of any kind. It's purely
just,
cosmetic and customization for your hero. So, for example, you can get a jester hat for the mage. You can put on
For the moment, we have like what's the name? A pumpkin head.
We have some. Yeah, we have some Halloween costumes there, like the pumpkin head and stuff like that. So it's just a way to give a little bit of customization for your hero.
Yeah.
And then we've also been working on more themes. So we can see it in the in the Twitch now. We have some Snottingham theme,
Yeah.
which is basically
So it's added to the castle. Yeah.
yeah. So you just have to go in the castle heart, and you could get yourself the Snottingham theme. And the really cool thing about this particular theme is that it has a significant impact on the appearance of your boss room. So the last room.
So we're
you'll
gonna
notice that-
yeah, we're showing the boss room right now.
Okay, great. So you'll see that there's kind of like a pool of acid on the side, some like grills.
Yeah.
And it has a bit of a different shape. And what I particularly like about this theme is, as a player, when you purchase it, it will affect the outside appearance of your castle. So anyone that's in the attack selection screen and is looking for a castle to attack, it'll really make your castle stand out from the others.
So yeah, the castle heart at the bottom is actually green, and it gives this green glow as well. It's pretty cool. So we're showing that right now. And
We
one last
also-
thing, go
Yeah,
ahead.
actually, for the themes, we also have a preview that's available of a Fireslide theme. So if you go to the PvE region and you look at the Fireslide's castle, you'll notice that there's been a considerable change, and it's actually a nice preview that we're showing that it's something we're working on to make available to the players as well.
Alright.
That's really I think to date that's probably my favorite theme. It's
Okay.
it's quite a nice one.
And another thing that you added that is not exactly cosmetics, but that adds a bit of the universe, the characters. You've actually added like voice for the characters when you play. They actually say stuff.
Yeah, so there's what we call voiceovers or barks that are played by the hero. So for example, you'll hear Painhammer saying that he's low health and he needs a potion, and each of the heroes have their own voices right now. So it's just it's a first step that we're doing, introducing some of the voices. We're gonna see what the reaction is if players like it. It's something that we can evolve on and add more to the game.